Two Fat Guys in a Dream. Of course, I'm your host with the most, Truman Steam Machine Steen, and as always, I'm joined by Scott Steen. Scott, how are you doing?
You're what the fuck? You're like phoning it in.
I know.
Yeah, man. Welcome to Two Fat Guys in a
Well,
Dream.
well, that's what we always.
God damn it!
That's how we do it.
Oh,
It's just
fucking
common.
enthusiasm, son. Let's go. Let's go.
I've also got your. It's all your video is also freezing, so that's really good. So
Oh,
really great
terrific.
stuff. All great stuff around here from the hotel room setup. Really great.
Are you staying at the Dewdrop Inn or whatever the fuck you're at in McPherson, Kansas?
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to say my location, but now you have on the show, so that's really great.
Are
But
you
yeah,
worried they're gonna hunt you down?
I'm BFE Kansas. I don't like to share. It's fine. We don't like to talk about
God,
work.
if somebody cares enough about you to stalk you in McPherson, you should embrace them.
I know, but I just don't like to talk about it all. But
He's in an undisclosed location, which is definitely not McPherson, Kansas. So don't look for him there at the Motel 6 in room 618 because he's
yes,
not there.
yes, okay. Welcome
Whatever.
everybody into Two Fat Guys in a Dream. Of course, I'm your host, Truman the Steam Machine Steen, and as always, joined by Scott Steen.
We did this.
I know. Well, I thought we were.
Christ.
Today we're going to be recapping. We're going to talk Mediterranean diet. We're going to talk mindful
results.
eating is
There
the
you
new
go.
one. We're also going to do
Oh.
personal health review. We've got weigh-ins and weight results. We've got all sorts of stuff that we're doing. Again, I am
Way-ins and
from.
way out.
This is obviously a different location, but we don't need to address it too much. We already have discussed where it is, so that's great. But all right,
Are you
so
working on one of the secret government contract things again that you can't talk about?
no, but it's fine. All right.
Okay.
Welcome everybody. We're gonna get into what we're doing. Scott, how did you do this week?
I did well. I had a good week. I lost some weight.
Did you?
I did.
It's good to hear.
I did. I don't know. I can't see the graphic. How much did I lose, Truman?
I can show. I'll throw the graphic up for you. Let's see. Scott, you.
I'm gonna wait on my phone to load here.
Had myself up here. You had a great week, Scott. You dropped. Whoa, wait, it doesn't have my updates in here. Well, that's great
5.3.
anyways. Great.
5.3 is what I did.
Yes. Yeah. Nobody got the update. I updated it, but for whatever reason, it didn't load my updates. So, yes. Yes. Scott dropped 5.3 pounds. He's down to 320. That puts you at a total of 12.3. It also adds you to a total loss of 9.30. It gives you a week loss of 4.0. So,
A week loss of 4.0. What now?
4.01%.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right. So,
Excellent.
that was your biggest loss of the year, or biggest loss of the show so far.
Yeah. And I do want to address that because the week before it had a down week. Only lost 0.8 pounds, feeling a little down in the dauber, and then all of a sudden, you have a week where everything kind of catches up, and you lose 5 pounds to go with the 5.8, but you're right around your goal of 3 pounds a week. So it's do not get discouraged, man. That's I think the main thing we're trying to show here, besides number one, keep ourselves accountable to each other.
Right.
There's a lot of decisions I think that I make during the week, like, well, shit, I got to record on Friday, so I better take it easy because it's Tuesday and I'm not going to have time to work that off or whatever. So that's the number one goal, and get us both healthy, of course. But the second goal is to show everybody that it can be done. It doesn't have to be a drastic, horrible change that consumes your life and your being, and you can't go out to eat and you can't ever fucking have anything you want ever again. It doesn't have to be that way. It's going to be a slow journey, a patient journey, and I think that's kind of what we want to show here. So
Yeah.
anyway,
and I think that's what we've. I like to think that that's what we've been doing here. It is a marathon, not a race. We do a lot of. It's like I think most diets fail in the first I think people don't follow it after 3 weeks, and so this is we're hitting our make or break, and this is our 4th week of the show. We're
a month, yeah, we're a month in, and I was over 12 pounds for the month. That made me extremely happy. So, Bud, how'd you do this week?
I don't know if you guys have noticed this yet.
Second week of Mediterranean, just to catch everybody up.
Right. I kind of keep on doing this weird thing where I'm going like I go down a bunch and then I don't go down like at all. So I lost. I believe I sent you the number. Can you confirm? Do you have it up on your phone?
Let me look real quick here. I will have that up momentarily.
Yeah, just
Uh,
because my internet just wiped away my results because it's a OneDrive thing. I don't know, man. It's
yes, you lost. Let's see, Truman. You are Truman. You lost 0.8 pounds this week.
point 0.8. All right, I couldn't remember if I was
You had
270.4 or 270.8 or point
you had
0.6.
you had the week that I did, and that would for a total of 0.98%, a little less than 1%,
Mm-hmm.
take you to 13.62% of your overall goal,
Yes.
and you are down from your starting weight 11.1 pounds.
Right. It was. I keep doing this thing where I go back and forth where I lose a chunk and then I don't lose as much, and then I lose a chunk and I don't lose as much. And so we've had, my first week, or, my first week was 5.4. My second week was only a pound and a half. My third week
Right.
was 3.4. My second week was only, zero point 0.8. So I'm interested to see what this week holds. I will say I already had a better weekend. Where the weekends have been, what really kills me is that I feel like I hit this weigh in and then I go, okay, I'm gonna relax it a bit for the weekend, or whatever, and then like I was like, so let's say, well, last week was, I weighed, and then I went, but 270.4. Sorry, not this week, but yeah, when I hit 271.2, I weighed that, and then I went to St. Louis for the weekend, and I came back, I ate, I ate what I ate, I drank, I went out with friends. I probably came back, and on Monday I was probably like 276. And so then it's a grind of getting back down, because there is some point I do want to stay linear here and keep on losing. So the goal is always to keep on staying ahead. So it's like, so I feel that pressure to get back under 271, and luckily I did hit it. I hit 270.4. I was really hoping to hit under 270 on that first week while I've been here out of town, but instead I'm not. So, but while I did hit 270.4 on Monday, or on Friday, this Monday I was only 272.4, I think, or point 0.6. So I only put on 2 pounds this weekend, and I expect to, you know, having that good of a start on a Monday is huge for me, and I hope that rolls over. I hope we break that 270 barrier next week is the plan.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. And we'll talk about what the diet you'll be on here in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the Mediterranean for a little bit, and an overall view of the Mediterranean diet. We talked a little bit. We touched on it last week after a couple weeks. This is something that we talked last week. You said you felt pretty comfortable doing it. It kind of fit your lifestyle. It was it wasn't a lot of meat. Is like what I know you're not a big fan of it for that reason.
Right, I just stayed away. Well, but I would say that I've been stayed away from red meat just more and more. I don't seek out red meat. Like I don't order a burger when I go to these places very often. And we're gonna see, just a preview. We're not doing a diet per se this week. We're doing a eating exercise, of sorts,
Right.
for the next 2 weeks. And I think during those eating exercises, I'm still not gonna go heavy red meat. I'm not gonna eat whatever I want to eat. I'm still gonna probably lean towards what I've been doing: white meat, not white rice, heavy grains, not enriched
Mhm.
wheat flour, and probably not as many grains typically, anyways. And I'm still trying to stay away from soda. It's, all these other diets are teaching me things that I'm going to employ when we do these like eating strategies that we're about to see, which gives it, because then you're almost on a diet while doing something else, which is helping twofold. So, you know,
Would you recommend to the Mediterranean diet to someone who needed to lose some weight?
absolutely. Again, I think it, and we'll do our, we did,
What would it help if you liked what? Sherman? If you liked veggies, if you liked what would be the good profile for the person who would have the easiest time following the Mediterranean diet?
well, I don't want to be too, like simple here, but obviously, if you like Mediterranean food, I mean, if you like, what's ironic is really, I guess, technically lamb, like Euro meat, doesn't really fit in. But like, I went to a Mediterranean place. I had Mediterranean with, grandma before I left, and I did
Right.
have like a Euro meat platter, but they give you like we give you like I only got like half a pita thing with it, and I just was mostly eating hummus and Euro meat, so it wasn't that still wasn't that unhealthy, and I think lamb's a little healthier than beef, so it still is even a better kind of white red meat, but uh,
The great thing about Mediterranean is it covers a lot of ground
it does.
because you've got the European side, you've got Greece, you've got Spain, you've got Italy,
Hmm.
and then you've got the African side, which you've got Morocco, and you've got some African dishes thrown in there as well. So you've got a lot of options. Everybody thinks Mediterranean food. You think it's synonymous with Greek or Middle Eastern food, Lebanese, something like that. There is a little crossover, but it's a lot more diverse than that.
Right, absolutely. It
So,
is. Yeah, it does. There's options. If you really, I would say if you find yourself enjoying fresh food, especially
mhm,
if
a lot of fresh fruits and veggies.
like when I'm thinking Mediterranean, I'm thinking cucumbers. I'm thinking like a cucumber, tomato, olive oil salad kind of thing.
Cool foods. 'Cause a lot of
Yes.
that region is very hot, so you've got cool foods.
Right.
You don't have a lot of thick, heavy stews. You've got more lighter fare like that. Yeah, that's a great point.
Right. Kind of like a Greek yogurt. If you like yogurt, that fits in. If you,
And
it's just
here's a diet tip if you weren't aware of it. Greek yogurt, I didn't mean you personally, I mean our viewers.
sure, sure, sure.
Greek
Of
yogurt,
course, of course.
great substitution for sour cream.
Yes. Right. I've seen a
Sour
lot of.
cream in and of itself not that bad, but Greek yogurt makes fantastic dips, sauces, things like that.
Mhm.
You can throw and of course it's unflavored. If you're like you're fucking Dannon with the strawberries, and that's not what I'm talking. You're talking about unflavored Greek yogurt.
I,
Just
s- I saw the sour cream commercial of somebody eating uh, strawberries with their sour cream, so that was weird. But
yeah, yeah.
I
It takes all kinds.
Dole's doing all sorts of weird sour cream advertising. Oh, I lost you on video again. So, well, we'll keep it rocking. I assume it'll come back.
I'm
It'll
still
catch
here.
up. It's an
Hopefully
internet
people
thing.
remember. Hopefully people remember what I look like.
Yes.
Little behind the scenes, a little inside baseball. Truman does have his camera with him. However, he left it at his job site, and he is now slave to the internet in the unnamed hotel at the unnamed location.
Right. Yeah, I've got like an Ethernet cord, and that Ethernet internet works great. But to run whatever I have to do to put this iPhone camera as my camera, I have to be on a Wi-Fi hotspot thing that I've got, which is just it's not as good as the Ethernet. So you are getting interesting stuff. So you might lose Scott every now and again, but now he's back.
I'm gonna write a hit song called "First World Problems."
Yeah,
That's
this
what I
is
got.
for sure. Yeah, but
All
so
right,
so
so
Mediterranean is fresh. It's sticking to white meat. It's if you like chicken, if you like if you're not adverse to salads, it's a great salad diet. Where it doesn't fit in, if you like burgers, if you like steak, if you're a big red meat person, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be hard.
uh,
You won't miss it as much, I would say. But
it's not real starch heavy either, like you were saying. A lot of the
mhm,
and there it has a lot of common with the no whites allowed diet that I'm on, where
right,
you kind of eschew refined flour, like you said, enriched flour, the sugars,
right,
the white rice, which is, if you don't know, white rice is basically trash food because they strip it of all its nutrients to make it more palatable to white people.
hmm,
That's exactly why they did it.
yeah,
So if you brown rice is basically the same as most white rice, of course not a basmati, but your standard rice that you get, it's the same thing, still has its shell on. So
exactly,
anyway,
yeah. So
that's why it's a little healthier.
yeah, there you are. So but yeah, so
Okay,
if you like wheat bread, sorry, another thing, if you like wheat bread, you'll probably enjoy the Mediterranean. So
very good.
let's
And
rank it on
we
our
say
criteria real quick.
you say wheat bread. By the way, when you look at that label, the first ingredient has to be whole wheat flour, not enriched, not bleached, none of that
Yes.
shit. Whole wheat flour. Full stop. All right, go ahead, buddy.
Yes.
What do you got?
All right, so let's do cost. Cost, I would put it if keto was a 6 for a reminder.
Mhm.
Keto, cost wise, I'm gonna put it at a 7. I
And
think it
are you
went
now? What's your scale? Are you comparing it to your regular food that you would go buy? Or are you comparing it like 10 is really expensive, 1 is not expensive? Is that what you're doing? Or is it a
no
comparison scale or just
10.
a sliding scale?
10 is not very expensive. I would say like 8 is like what I would spend, and if somehow these diets are going to be cheaper than what I normally spend, we'll do a 9 or a 10. But cost wise, if it's going to cost a little bit more, we're in the 7 to 6 range. If it costs a lot more, if it's unobtainable almost, it's going to be like a 1. So,
All right. So, in defiance of all logical linear progressions, most expensive is the lowest rated, and the least
right.
expensive is the highest rated.
It's
Okay, there you go.
because higher ratings are better because it's a universal scale that we can rank all of these, and if we can just add up all the scores from keto and we can just add up all the scores from Mediterranean if we do it this way instead of
Well, it's a
ranking
it's a
all these
universal
differences.
scale we've completely made up a month ago.
That's right,
So,
exactly. So there
yeah.
you go. So uh, I would give it a 7 for
Okay.
cost.
So it is cheaper than keto because you buy a lot more meat in keto.
Right, and you can keep a lot more of your snacks. Dairy still on the table. Your sugar's still going to be tough, but there's easier to work around. There's more stuff to buy. You can buy fruits, vegetables. You don't have to worry about every. Again, you stay
Still
away from
can't get a
starches. But yeah,
still can't get a goddamn Twinkie on any of them yet.
no, no, still not. But we'll talk about. We've got one coming. Hey, I don't want to ruin it. Results wise, again, keto was an 8 on results, and I simply lost more weight on keto. I'm gonna put a 6 for the results of the Mediterranean. It was good.
And how many days out of the 14 did you follow the Mediterranean?
Well,
You talked
so
about some weekends and some slip ups. So what do you think? 10, 11?
probably yeah, 9 or 10, I'd say. Definitely
Okay.
all the weekdays. Uh, and besides maybe like one where I might have had a burger,
So
but the
just
weekends
just to
were
re- just to recap, you had 14 days to follow the diet,
right.
and you followed it 9 or 10,
Yes.
and you still lost how much for those 2 weeks?
That's what I was
What did we
looking at real quick.
what did we say here? Let me spread you back out here.
4.2 pounds total for those
4
2
point
weeks.
yeah, you went from 274.6 to 270.4.
Yep.
So you still lost 2 pounds a week. Following it, 14 into 9 is 60 2/3 of the time, roughly, give or
Right.
take.
So let's rank the results at a 7, not a
Oh, I want okay, but I wanted to say that's still impressive. That
right.
gives hope to everybody that falls off the wagon for what the day and just wants to say, "Fuck it, I'm not doing it."
Hmm.
That's it shows if you stay committed to what you're doing, you can have 5 shitty days
Right.
and still lose 2 pounds a week.
Yes, it absolutely still fits into your plans. I mean, what? It was 70% of the time for me. And again, it's different than keto because you're not worried about being in ketosis and all this stuff. I'm not
Right.
getting paid. I'm not going to say it any more times than that one. But but that makes it you don't
Are
feel
you roped
as
into big Mediterranean diet, Truman? His big med diet got his fucking claws in you?
they heard that I was up for purchase, so that in Mediterranean they have reached out to me, the folks over at the Mediterranean diet.
And they wanted
But
to lock him up when he only had 10 viewers because in a month from now, when this thing takes off, his price gonna be a lot higher.
right, it's a lot cheaper right now, and that's for everybody. You
Insane.
think about that. Everybody at
Yeah.
home, you think about that. Ease wise, I would give it an 8. Also, again, I would almost give it a 9. I just think again it's like again I'm in BFE Kansas and we went to like Applebee's and it was like not listen, Applebee's is I think is an interesting yard marker for typical chain restaurant go out to eat kind of
Mhm.
thing.
It's
And
a good bar food mix kind of thing, fern bar. Yeah, yeah,
right, and
check
I
some.
would say maybe 20 to 30% of the menu was available, but for
Okay.
Mediterranean. But I would say that most diets are probably going to limit a fair amount of Applebee's food options for you.
It ain't called America's favorite skinny neighbor.
Right.
It's America's favorite neighbor. So
Yes.
yeah, Applebee's. And a good rule of thumb, by the way, the harder it is to find nutritional information, usually that's the shittier that food's gonna be.
Yeah.
You gotta look, like we used to try to like find the nutritional information from the old country buffet. And there's NSA people that can't find that shit.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was speaking of unobtainium, that's exactly what it was. So
Yep.
all right, bud. So that wraps up Meadow.
Well, oh, sorry. Body feel was the final one.
Oh,
We ranked. I would say it's about the same as keto. You feel clean. You feel healthy. I again did not experience a ton of the negative effects from keto. So people are gonna say, "Well, you only feel as good as I know guys that feel terrible on keto." But I think I felt you're eating. I'm eating cleaner food. I eat pretty clean on both of these diets, so I'm feeling much better than I did before, and I'm slimming down more, and that's helping a lot. I've noticed, I did this same kind of job that I'm out here for in October of last year, early October, and I'm already feeling like I can do a lot more. I'm a lot more active, a lot more easier to move around, and that's been nice, and that helps to lose 10 pounds right before you come out. So
sure. And I was just looking at our. So we've lost 11-1 and what would we say 12-3.
yeah,
We've lost 23-4. I was thinking we should get something like to dramatically represent how much we've lost, but I can't think of anything that weighs 23 and a half pounds. You could get I was thinking bowling balls, but that's going to get old. You
yeah.
get it. Like,
Going forward, I will try to find something. I'll try to find something during the week so that I can show you on the show how much we've lost in a physical representation.
Dr. Oz just used to bring in real fat and just fucking plop it down. And we're not.
Yeah, well, we can't all go and lose Pennsylvania political races, okay?
It is kind of an amazing thing when you think about it, though. It's 23 pounds that used to exist on our bodies that no longer exist.
And
That's
that's in
it's
the month of doing this show.
it's kind of just weird to think of that part of you just is gone. So yeah, I would say, how would you rate this month? We didn't talk about this, but how would you rate this first month? Are you happy with your results?
Absolutely. If we go 10 pounds a month, hey, we'll be done by Christmas.
Yeah,
We'll be done,
that's right.
and that's cool. And then we're done, and that's it. And then we're just skinny guys from here on out.
It'll
That's great.
it'll just be well the last 4 months of the show will be me trying to make my goal and Truman just fucking laughing at me. It'd
Yeah,
just be eating Twinkies and hot fudge sundaes, going, "No, it must suck to you be you, fat boy."
I am shocked that we've kind of stayed. I these first couple pounds have come off easy. I imagine the first probably 30 or 40 are easier. I will
Hmm.
say. The first that's the best, and that's the best part about diets that gets everybody. You always love them at the beginning because the first couple pounds are super
Right.
not super
Yeah.
easy, but they are easier than the last couple pounds.
You
The first fifty
you are
percent of
richly
this is going to
rewarded
be
for your efforts.
right. I mean, let's say, again, I at my lowest, I have not weighed under 200 pounds since sophomore year of high school. When I was in, there's a couple times that I'd say I was in the best shape of my life.
Ironically, that's probably the last time I weighed under 200 pounds.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
it's really close to it.
right. But like, I would say, I wrestled that year, and just I didn't try to drop weight, but I just dropped weight because I was wrestling every day, which is strenuous, I guess. So
Well, what and more importantly, you were training every day to fucking wrestle.
right, yeah,
And you were working with guys that were trying to cut weight, and you're running like all the fucking
all
time.
the time, yeah. So, but started that year at like 213, and I ended up at like 193, and
Right.
that was the lowest. And then us junior year of college, I got down to like 208. So, but I would say that I expect that I can drop, if we drop these 30 to 40 pounds, if we keep this going at 240, I'm going to feel awesome. I feel like I'm going to be
Mhm.
looking good. I'm going to be back in my XL shirts very comfortably. Um, and then it's going to be those last 40 pounds is going to be probably pretty tough, I imagine, to take off. But I guess I don't know. It's been a while since I've been there to do that. And I mean, in those times it came off easy, but those times I was losing the first 20 pounds or the first 30 pounds. And that was
Well, and you were also walking a lot more. You're walking back and forth to class at school. You're walking, 10,000 steps a day probably without even trying, or close to it, 6 or 7 anyway.
it's true. Yeah.
So,
But
all right.
yeah. So
Anything else you want to say on the recap angle?
no, I think that's it for the diet recap. I think we can go ahead and look ahead to our next you know, diet that we're or, this is not okay, so our next thing that we are going to be looking at, we will call it a diet for the sake of just being consistent on what we're doing with the show here. And we don't want to have to change all our terminology. We're doing
Yeah, every week we talk about how we're not actually on a diet. We're trying to find something that is a permanent lifestyle change.
right,
It's not the grapefruit and fucking cottage cheese diet, or it's something that should be sustainable for a lifetime. So
right,
I'm anxious about because I this one, I told you before. You ask any fat person, they've got a hell of a lot of knowledge about health and weight loss.
right.
I don't know much about this one, Truman. So this is great because it came from a YouTube comment suggestion. That's what we ask you for every week. Throw those comments on our YouTube, in the all the places it's available. Or Apple Podcast, Spotify, all the places you get your regular podcast. Leave us a comment somewhere. I know Truman checks those every week for ideas, and you got one this week, buddy. What is it?
Absolutely. Cole in one of our comments last week. Again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the stuff. And also as opposed to diet ideas, you can also let us know if you're dieting. Let us know what's worked for you. Let us know how it's going for you. Let us, and we'll always take words of encouragement and blah blah blah, all that stuff. Okay. Not blah blah blah. Obviously, we will appreciate any comment, anything. I've had
Yes.
people reach out to me. It's been really nice. I just want to give a thanks for that as well. So, all that just to be said, Cole left a comment in the YouTube. He left and suggested mindful eating. And
Okay.
so I will say that we thought about doing intermittent fasting, just kind of the rigid structure of how I'm doing. I don't get control when I eat lunch, when I go on break, intermittent fasting doesn't really work for this right now.
We will
So
revisit.
yes, so seeing intuitive eating or mindful eating, whatever you would like to call it. It's a mindset of how you're eating your food. There's a lot of ways for you to look at it. And the suggestion from Cole, and this will be like the main basis of what I'm going to start with, and then I've read some other things on it, but they use what they refer as the 10-5-10 rule. So Scott, this is basically when you're eating a meal, you should eat for 10 minutes, and then you take a break for 5 minutes, and you let that body digest, and you think about what you've tasted, and you kind of just enjoy the food in a way. And then after that complete halt of 5 minutes, you may resume eating for another 10 minutes. And the chances at the end of that 25 minutes, you're going to be very full, or, you're also, you've allowed that body to catch up from those first 10 minutes. It's sometimes there's just a little bit of a delay from your eating when it hits your mouth, when it hits your stomach, and when your brain's gonna register that you're full.
100% correct, and that is something your mom, once again, and we're gonna try to figure out a way to get her some recording some hits for us because she's got some stuff ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
and that is when Truman and I sound smart about nutrition. There's about a 98% chance we learned it from my wife, his mom. So,
Right.
very good, Truman. I'm going to tell you why this is a difficult diet for the vast majority of Americans. You want to know why?
Food gets cold.
25 minutes, you've got to stay off your fucking phone.
That is true.
A
That is
lot of people, myself included, love to sit down and read something, play a game or something like that while they're eating as a distraction. It's the same as, I used to love reading the newspaper, and that's just kind of carried over to my phone now. I think that's a difficult task to be completely in the moment of what you're doing with your food. And it is such a difference from the way you and I consume food.
absolutely. We
We're
talked
we
about
are we are the furthest thing from mindful eaters.
we've talked about watching sports and eating wings, and a sports bar is a perfect example of you're not doing any mindful eating there. Tonight I played video games and was like, oh, I'm gonna eat some Chinese food while I did it, but
Right.
trying to sit back and go, okay, wait, and then eat some more. I ended up putting away some of the rice. I didn't need it. But it was
So I found what I found the three goals, and help me out on this because I know you've done a shit ton of research. Eat more slowly, chew thoroughly, remove distractions. Did I say three, four, and stop eating when you're full?
yes, that is probably the biggest part where it's there's also that's another part of the mindful eating is or intuitive eating. They are go hand in hand. They're the same kind of thing. If you Google mindful eating, the intuitive eating Wikipedia page will show up. So just for the record, we'll use those interchangeably. But it's eating when you're fulfilled, not when you're full. It's like the mindset that places. If you've noticed, some of them changed the all you can eat to all you care to eat,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a marketing thing, so you don't aren't trying to eat as much as possible, so that
Not a
they're
personal goddamn challenge every time you hit a buffet.
exactly they're trying to save money by that. But in a way, you should also be doing all you care to eat, and that it allows you to kind of sit back and think, do I really need another bite? Do I really want another bite of food? Am I still hungry? Am I still blah blah blah? So it's this.
I will say this real quick, and then I'll let you go. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
As I've been doing this, I find myself actually doing that,
Right,
leaving food on the is and I think I'm in the habit of eating less,
right.
and I have left food on the plate for really the first time in my life. And we talked about it last time. It's a hard mindset to get out of that you're not getting your money's worth.
Right,
But you have to start thinking of it. You've paid that money to fill the need of that meal. Period.
right.
Let it go. If there's food left, take it home, leave it there. Take it home for somebody else. Don't take it home for yourself. That doesn't fucking work.
Right,
But or unless you get another meal out of it.
right.
And I have done that. But
That
so
meal
yeah,
has served its purpose at that point.
that meal has served its purpose regardless of how much is left on the plate. So anyway, go ahead,
Yeah.
buddy.
No, it's just
You gotta get past the starving children in China. What I always heard when I was growing up. There's people starving in China.
you can't
Oh
you
fuck, we
can't
should have
make
some of
it,
this, should have some of this Chinese food. We got a ton of it.
Yeah. But it's so there's a couple different strategies you can do. I had another one was think about with every bite of your food, think about what it took for that food to get there. You're eating that burger. Now let's think, while it'll help you slow down a little bit. Is think about as you take those bites, think about what it took to get that cow to get there. The cow ate the
Why
grass, it was birthed, it
I,
was raised by a farmer, it was slaughtered, all this. What?
I guarantee you start thinking about the process, you're gonna eat a lot less fucking cow. You
That
start
is
thinking
true.
about the bolt gun and the fucking all the shit and the slippery guts on the floor and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're you wanna stop eating meat? Go to a packing house sometime. Stop by Cargill and check that out. So I'll take a tour because I never want to eat fucking cow ever again.
Right. That's always the most successful PETA campaigns. It isn't the whatever the oh, this is what a sweater and next to cute animals.
Uh,
That
I would
doesn't
have
get
to
me.
disagree and say the "I'd rather go naked than wear fur" PETA campaign was highly successful.
Those were pretty good.
At least for me, it was. Um, but yeah, absolutely. I told you I had a friend one time that worked on the stun line, and I said, you ever feel remorse about killing cows? If you ever spent 5 minutes alone with a fucking cow, you'd want to kill every one of them too." Like, okay, thanks a lot.
uh,
Uh,
yeah.
anyway,
But yeah, I think so. A lot of it is that's it's just thinking about what you're eating and how it
mhm.
just there's so many ways to think about that we just have disconnected. We've disconnected ourselves from the food, and that you just kind of zone out. Because I've tried to do this. Full disclosure, Cole's one of my buddies. I would play video games with him during the pandemic, and we went to school together and stuff. But I remember he would tell me about this, and so I tried it once where I was playing video games and eating. So I'd eat the 10 minutes, and then I'd set the food down, and I'd try to play video games for 5 minutes or whatever, and I would find myself just not even thinking about it, just wait, no, no, wait, no, wait, and picking up a fork with I'm like, no, 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 and then like, oh no, and so I
Yeah,
think that
we are automatons at this point. When
absolutely,
a lot of America and a lot of the world, but America especially, we're just fucking automatons, man. We're eating on the go. We're not getting enough sleep. We're eating shitty. We're
hmm
eating fast. We're eating drive through for lunch and all this kind of shit. It's the very, very opposite of mindful eating. So I am really excited for you to get going on this and see how you do.
oh yeah, and it's gonna be different. There's nothing that I can't eat, but I'm still gonna try to do good on the eating. But it's this is gonna be an 8 on cost and a 10 on ease because it's as easy as it gets. Well,
Right.
it'll be as accessible as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be
Mm-hmm.
as easy? Is a great question. And will
Will
it
it be successful?
also a great question because
If you're
technically,
thinking about that Big Mac, does that matter?
yeah, and
I'm
I
dead
mean,
serious.
I
Do you
zone
eat
out
less of it?
sometimes. I
Yeah. Oh, we all do.
absolutely.
We're the opposite of mindful eating. So
hmm
at the this is something that no matter what plan you're on would be great to incorporate.
Yes.
Very healthy for your system,
hmm
very healthy for your psyche as well.
Yeah. Just another something we're kind of adding to the arsenal of what we can do that will help. Another thing that you can add into eating, not eating those bleached white flours, eating whole
Doesn't cost
grains, eating less red
doesn't
meat.
cost anything, doesn't cause any extra stress in your life. It's something I'm not gonna say it's something that's easy to do, but it's something that doesn't require any extras. You don't have to go out of your way or take supplements or any of that bullshit. It's all in the fucking brain, man, which is we've discussed before where a lot of our problems come from anyway, you
Absolutely.
know? If you can
Absolutely.
rewire yourself to eat differently, regardless of what you do, I think you're gonna be successful.
Yeah. So that's what we hope to do in these next 2 weeks. Kind of get a habit of mindful eating. So again, big shout out Cole. Again, big shout out if you guys want to leave a comment, leave anything. We are all open to diet ideas. I'm not saying that we will use yours, but if we see it and it works in, and we can swing it, absolutely we will try our best to get it in there. So
Has Cole had success using this? Has he had a weight loss, in his past?
he's gotten very fit over the last couple years, and he credits a lot of it to mindful eating and sitting down and
Terrific,
doing all this stuff.
terrific.
So I'm very interested in doing. I'm very interested in giving it the best try I can, the old college try, as we say, and if I can do it here on the road, where I'm eating out of a hotel room every day, and I have to go out to
Mhm.
eat pretty much every night for dinner. If I can do it here, then anybody can do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so we will see. We'll talk through it. We'll see how it goes. We'll do the weigh in next week or on Friday, and you guys will be here.
Might I say, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, Truman.
Absolutely,
It's up to you.
absolutely, and that is a great note to end on here, Scott. So again,
Absolutely.
we appreciate everybody being here. Episode number 5 of Two Fat Guys in a Dream. Again, we appreciate you guys being along for this ride, for our dream. You know,
It's
uh,
weird. We're not getting a ton of views or listens, we're not in the hundreds or the thousands, but I've had people come up to me and say, "Hey, congratulations on this," or "Hey, did this work for you?" or "Wow, that was great what Truman did." So they've referenced things from the show or a fact that we've told them that I didn't know that. So I know
absolutely,
there's people out there listening. We appreciate it. Yeah, like you said, make sure you get subscribed. Make sure and that helps us. Obviously, we ain't making any money off this, but we
right?
we really want to share this information and we want to have fun with as many people as possible because we think, we think that we're pretty fucking funny.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and we think when we want to inspire people. We want to inspire ourselves.
right.
We want to inspire anybody that happens to run across us. So we
hmm
appreciate all the positive support. Definitely like, subscribe, rate, review, all this, whatever format
Right.
you're
Yep.
downloading us in. Please do positive things. There you go.
Yes, and we'll be back with better technical stuff next week. It'll be all sorts of stuff. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you sticking through all the technical difficulties. Scott's camera has been the audio and video has been not as synced up as it normally is, but about as synced up as it was on Steam versus Machine for everybody who watched that. So that's really good. But
There you go.
but
We were. Oh, you know what? We were losing on that show too.
yeah.
So we just did one show where we were losing, and then now we're doing another show where we're losing. So
A-
very good.
Absolutely. So, okay. We appreciate everybody for sticking around. Again, these comes out on Tuesdays. I release them at 6 a.m. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you guys are looking. And if you're looking somewhere and you've listened to it somewhere and then you're like, man, I wish it was also here and it's never here, tell me where that is and I'll figure out how to put it on that too.
And let's make sure that they know where to find you on YouTube. You're under Open Disaster Productions. Open
Yep.
Disaster Productions. That's where you can find all of Truman's material, including this show. He does like 17 podcasts a week, and so he's making all the money. You know that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's all from the podcasting. For sure.
I'd say Truman's within 3 or 4 years of maybe breaking even.
Yeah, I could, man, if I uh really got together and everybody really subscribes and likes and shares and does all they can, I could maybe make in the three figures on this. That would be really great. So
Over just a year?
over 5 years I think would be
Over 5 years?
would be great.
Making well over $180 over that 5 year period. So
Yeah,
yes,
that would
it's
be
all
really
about the
awesome,
money.
guys.
Oh, we're not going to be Mr. Beast. We're not going to be fucking Jake Paul or any of that shit.
Yeah.
But we're going to have some fun. We're going to share diet tips with you, and we're going to share our journey with all you guys, and hopefully you're maybe inspire you to go on your own journey. So, hey, buddy, have a great week out there. Okay, I know you're working your ass off, and so have a great week. Be mindful. Be mindful. You never know; it might bleed into other areas of your life. You might be
Hey,
mindful about other things too.
I'm trying to. That's what I've kind of used this entire trip as. Is it's I've last time I was here for only 2 weeks, and this time I'm here for like 4 weeks, by the way. But I last time I told myself I was like, I'm gonna get up and work out every morning. I'm gonna study for my. I'm an engineer, so I have a professional engineering exam coming up. I was gonna study for that. I was gonna do all this stuff, and I didn't, and it really ate at my mental health a little bit. Not like I wasn't too bad. I wasn't too depressed, but I didn't get better. I certainly became. I felt like I came back a worse person. I was 10 pounds heavier. Not 10 pounds, but I was heavier. I was gonna do all this stuff, but this time I'm actually getting up. I've been working. I'm getting up at 5:15 so I can go work out and then work the 12-hour day, study on my breaks. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse, right? Is
That's
how I'm
right. Oh, look at
trying to
you.
look at this. And so,
Ready to,
right, I'm trying to
that sounds like
mindful live,
that
mindful
sounds like
eat.
me. That sounds like me at the beginning of COVID. I was gonna learn to play guitar.
Hmm.
I was gonna learn Spanish,
Yeah.
and then I decided to learn flamenco guitar and not do either one of those. So I was able to combine it into one thing that I didn't do. So I did feel better about that. But yeah, I totally get it, man. That those for all through March, we're like, oh, we're getting locked down, we're not working, and oh man, this is gonna be a great opportunity to do all that shit and read all the classics. I was gonna read some classics and
Yep. Yep.
watch high quality TV, and none of that shit happened.
Yeah.
I did, however, get fatter, so I'm thrilled about that.
Exactly.
So,
But
anyway,
hey,
have a great week. Like and subscribe. Open Disaster Productions. He's the Steen Machine, Steehn Machine. You can find him on Twitter. I don't know where else you're. Discord, Twitch,
TikTok if you wanted.
TikTok. Oh
Twitch.
yeah,
Twitch is good.
check
Yeah.
out. He's actually got some funny TikTok stuff. So.
Listen, if you think I'm anywhere, it's going to be Steam Machine. And Scott, you're over on Twitter, Steen Roller. If we want to find out,
Steamroller, right?
you post everything you do. Sometimes you do winners and whiners stuff. Sometimes you're doing your own sort of stuff. You tweet out just funny stuff sometimes. So
I do. I certainly try.
So yeah, go check him out there, and he'll definitely post and let you know where else you can find him on there. I think is a
That's it.
great
That's
thing
it.
to roll with. All right, well, we appreciate you guys for being here. We appreciate you guys for joining us on the stream. We appreciate you just in general.
There you go.
Thanks again. We will see you guys next week with hopefully some success and maybe some things that we've learned, and hopefully being very mindful. That being
Guys,
said,
have a great week, everybody. Take care.
absolutely. See you.